Hello everyone, this is Rohini here with a new topic, circulatory system. When we talk about circulatory system means the distributing of fluid constituent in our bodies. Almost all organisms, including humans, have some kind of fluid circulating in their bodies. Such fluid constituents the distributing system as well as the collecting system to and from the various parts of body, including remotest cell. So whatever the fluid is being circulated in the body with the help of circulating fluid in the body is called as circulatory system. Now there are two types of circulatory system. Open circulatory system where blood mostly flow through open spaces, and this type of circulatory system you can see in certain insects where there is the blood flows from heart to body spaces without vessels. Next is closed circulatory system where the blood flows through blood vessels, mainly in other animals and in human beings also. Now when we talk about circulatory system, there are three main parts of circulatory system. The three major parts of circulatory system are blood, blood vessel and heart. Blood is the fluid which flows in the body of organism. Blood vessel, the blood vessel in which this fluid flows, and heart is said as the pumping organ of the body. So these three major parts are important in a circulatory system of human body. First, let us discuss about blood. What is the function of blood? Why it is required in a human body? The first function is transportation. Transportation includes respiration, means exchange of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. The nutrient carrier from GIT, transportations of hormones from endocrine glands. Nutrient carrier means the food which we digest in the digestive system, those nutrients are transported to different parts of the body for energy. Then hormones from endocrine glands are secreted in the blood directly, which also moves towards the target organ or cell. Transport of metabolic waste, the process of excretion also occurs through blood. Next function is regulation. It regulates the pH of our body, adjusts and maintains the body temperature, maintains water content of the cell. That means it maintains the hydration. It keeps our body hydrated. The next is protection. Protection of our body from various kind of diseases. That is also one very important function of blood. WBC protect against disease by phagocytosis, means it engulfs the foreign particles and save us from various kind of diseases. Reservoir for substance like water and electrolyte etc., and performs homeostasis function. Now when we have studied about function of blood, now what is blood made up of? What are the different components of blood? Blood consists of plasma and blood components. Now when we talk about plasma, it is a straw color fluid which contain water, enzyme, protein, hormone, salt, etc. Blood components, when we talk about, the three major blood components are present in our body, that is RBC, WBC and platelets. Now here is a diagram to show types of blood cell. You can see the structure of the blood cell, the red blood cell, the platelets, the white blood cell. Now what are the function of each blood cell in our body? That we'll study in detail. Function of RBC. The main function of RBC is to transport of oxygen from lungs to the tissue, transport of carbon dioxide from tissue to the lungs, regulation of acid-base balance. When the transportation from oxygen from lung to tissues occur, here the hemoglobin joins with oxygen and forms oxyhemoglobin. In similar way, transport of carbon dioxide, the hemoglobin will join with carbon dioxide and form carboxyhemoglobin. WBC functions, there are various type of WBCs. Neutrophil phagocytic means it engulfs the foreign particles. Eosinophil phagocytic and damage to larval stage of parasite. Parasite means the organisms which enter our body in form of bacteria, fungi, which can cause various kind of diseases. Basophil, it stores histamine. It is a kind of protein involved in immediate hypersensitivity reaction. Any kind of allergic reaction, this basophil will function there. Monocyte, again phagocytic in nature, cellular and humoral immunity. It provides immunity to our body. Next, when we come to platelets, the main function of platelets is coagulation. Coagulation means it helps in clotting of blood. You can see the diagram here. If any cut or injury occurs in the body part, here the blood starts oozing out, but with the help of protein thromboplastin, a network is formed around these blood cells and it stops the flow of blood out. It clots the blood there only. Now, after the blood cells or blood components, the next important part of circulatory system when we talk about it is the blood vessels present in our body through which this blood flows. Blood vessels carry blood to and fro from different parts of the body, means from heart to body and body to different parts of the heart. There are three blood vessels present in our body. They are artery, vein and capillary. Artery carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. And capillary is a junction between arteries and vein. Now here you can see the diagram. Arteries, veins and a capillary with a junction between them which joins the artery and veins which are present in the tissues. Now here are certain differences, or you can see a table is there which tells us about the function, the type of lumen, the wall and the other features of artery, vein and capillary. First, when we come to function, arteries, it carry oxygenated blood from the heart except the pulmonary artery. In similar way, the veins carry deoxygenated blood from body parts to cell except pulmonary vein. Capillary, it take care of diffusion of gases and nutrient from blood to the cell of the body. Lumen means how much broad it will be and how much narrow it will be. That is called as lumen. In the next slide, I'll show you the diagram, so that will be clear to you what is lumen. Lumen, small and narrow, large in veins and very small in capillaries. Walls of arteries are thick, veins are thin and capillary very thin. Why walls of arteries are thick? Because blood from a pressure from heart is being pumped to different parts of the body. So when a pressure is being given there, so the wall should be hard, but in veins no pressure is required. Other features, presence of muscular wall. Largest artery is called as aorta. Presence of valve is present to avoid backflow of blood. Semi-permeable walls for transportation of gases and nutrients. Now here you can see the diagram of artery, vein and capillary. You can see artery is thick elastic wall. Small lumen means it is a small hollow like structure is present there. But when you see the vein, large lumen is present there because the walls are thin and walls are present here to stop the backflow of blood. And capillary, when you see the structure, it is a single cell wall structure. Next, the most important part of the circulatory system is heart, which pumps the blood to different parts of the body. And again, the impure blood or deoxygenated blood is brought back to the heart. Now, when we study the structure of heart, we should know heart is located in the center of two lungs. It is protected by double wall membranous covering called pericardium. Pericardium is a layer or the covering of the heart which protects the heart from shock and injury. And this pericardium is filled with fluid called pericardial fluid. The function of pericardial fluid is to absorb shock and injury for the heart. Means it does not allow any shock or injury to harm the heart. Now next, when we come, there are four chambers of heart. In the diagram you can see here right atrium, left atrium, or you can say right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. So the right side of the heart will bring deoxygenated blood from various parts of the body, and it is from here it is sent to the lungs for oxygenation. After oxygenation, the blood is brought back to left atrium and then to left ventricle, and this oxygenated blood is sent to different parts of the body. Now, what are the different types of blood vessels entering and leaving heart? Here you can see superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, aorta is present there. Superior vena cava and inferior vena cava are the two arteries which bring deoxygenated blood from upper and lower part of the body. These superior vena cava, inferior vena cava brings the blood to right atrium, then it moves to right ventricle. Then through pulmonary valve and pulmonary artery, it goes to the lungs for oxygenation of blood. When the blood is oxygenated there, from there the blood through pulmonary vein is being brought back to left auricle and then to left ventricle. Now when the pure blood or oxygenated blood is brought back to the heart, now it has to be sent to different parts of the body because oxygen supply is needed by different parts of the body. So that to different parts of the body it goes through aorta. So the blood vessels which are entering the heart is superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and the pulmonary veins. And the heart which are the blood vessels which are leaving the heart is pulmonary artery and aorta. Next we come to the walls present in the heart. Now there are three walls present in the heart. One is tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, aortic semilunar valve, pulmonary semilunar valve. Now when we talk about all these valves, they have different function. They stop the backflow of blood. When you talk about tricuspid valve is present between right auricle and right ventricle. It forms the boundary between right ventricle and right atrium. Next is mitral valve, which passes blood through open mitral valve into left ventricle, which is the heart's main pumping chamber. Next is aortic valve. It prevents the backflow of blood as it is pumped from left ventricle to the aorta. Then pulmonary valve is also present, which allows the blood to leave the heart via the arteries. So these are few walls present in the heart which prevents the backflow of blood. Now when we talk about circulation of blood, heart pumps the circulatory system. Heart is the pumping organ of the circulatory system. So whatever blood is being brought from different parts of the body, like deoxygenated blood from upper part of the body and deoxygenated blood from lower part of the body, is brought to the right side of the heart, and from there it is sent to the lungs for oxygenation. Then from there the oxygenated blood from lung is brought to left auricle, then it passes to left ventricle. From left ventricle through aorta it moves to different parts of the body. Here you can see a schematic diagram is being represented here. You can see the vena cavas, the systemic veins are present there, then aorta and its branches are present there, then how capillary bed of all body tissues are present there, where all the gaseous exchange occurs here. So when we talk about circulation, it starts with contraction of two auricles. The ventricle at this time are relaxing and are empty. So what happens? First the ventricle will contract and the auricles will relax. So at that time what happens? The blood from different parts of the body is brought to the auricle, right auricle, and oxygenated blood is being brought to the left auricle. At that time the ventricles will completely relax. Then once the blood is filled in the ventricle, from there the right ventricle will send blood through pulmonary arteries to the lungs, which you can see the diagram there, where oxygenation of blood occurs here. After the oxygenation of blood, the pulmonary veins which are present in the lungs will come back to left auricle. The left auricle, the blood from left auricle moves towards the left ventricle. Now from left ventricle it is sent through aorta and it branches towards the different parts of the body. So this is how circulation of blood occurs in our body, and because of this only heartbeat occurs. The atria contract first, followed by contraction of ventricles. Means first auricles will contract, then ventricles will contract. The contraction phase is called as systole, and it is followed by a relaxing phase which is called as diastole. So this is a complete cycle makes a heartbeat. So systole longs for 0.15 seconds. Systole of ventricles lasts for 0.30 seconds, and all chambers in relaxed state is 0.40 seconds. So full heartbeat of human, you can say that it is about 0.85 seconds. Double circulation, when we talk about double circulation, means the circulation of blood occurs twice through heart. One is pulmonary circulation, other is systemic circulation. So blood from heart to lungs, lung to heart, that is called as pulmonary circulation. Then blood from different body parts to heart, and again from heart to body, that is oxygenated blood, that is called as systemic circulation. So this is all about the circulatory system. The major portions of the major parts of circulatory system, just in a briefing I'll just conclude it. Blood vessel, heart. Blood as plasma and blood components. Blood components, RBC, WBC, platelets. Blood vessels, artery, veins and capillaries. Then a pumping organ is called as heart. Hope you all have understood the circulatory system, and very thank you. Stay home, stay safe.